You said that you prefer media and fans to sleep on you so you can do your job. Do you think that after the 50-point game and the All EuroLeague selection last season, all this made you a target for the opponents?
No, I don't think so. I mean, maybe. But as you said, from my point of view and source of motivation, I just look at, after it happened, there was still a lot of talk of who I did it against, you know? So that's kind of where I flipped my motivation to. It's like even then after that, it's still, yeah, but it was against, or yeah, but, you know? So I try to do that, and it's, I try to put more focus onto what I can do to prepare, you know, instead of worrying about the opponent. I feel if you worry about the opponent, you lose energy that you could be put into yourself and to your work and to yourself to be better.
How is it really to be in that zone and score 50 in a single game?
As I've said, it's the most childlike I felt playing basketball since I was a child, honestly. It felt like just running around and just shooting the ball, and like you're having fun. And then as I'm getting closer to the record, there's two guys trying to make sure I don't get the ball, and then it became real fun, like, ooh, how can I get the ball? And it just felt like it was the most joy, most fun, most pure basketball game that I've played.
You revealed your text to Sasha Vezenkov about his recent 45-point game. You wrote that he should try to break the record. How did you feel during his run?
I was traveling on off days. Maybe you've heard I like to travel on my off days and go to different countries. I was in Beirut, in Lebanon, visiting a friend and walking around. So I was at the grocery store. I was looking for there's these chips, really good chip brand, and I only found them in Beirut. So I was at the grocery store looking for the chips. And then my friend, Nate, texted me and was like, nah, you just missed an amazing one. Sasha had 45. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And then, you know, I go to Twitter and then I'm checking. And then people start texting me. I think Calathes texted me too and was like, you're still safe for now or something like that. But it's a big fan of his. And I couldn't wait for EuroLeague to put the highlights so I could watch how he did it. And then when I found out it was 3 dribbles, it's even more impressive. This is unbelievable, honestly. So congratulations to him again for, you know, that performance and that night that he had. He deserves it.
Do you think that this individual accomplishment are a clear clue that, like the NBA, EuroLeague is a players' league, or there's room for significant coaching intervention?
No, it's definitely not a players' league. It's for sure a coaches' league and a club league. And that's not for me to say whether that's good or bad, but I think my answer that I can give you is that it's definitely a coaches and a players' league. I mean, the clubs have the history that goes back as far as it does. And then the way players change teams all the time. You know, rarely do you see a guy stay with the team for multiple years. So you can associate a player with, you know, a team. And I think a lot of I mean, you see it when you go to the games, when the coaches walk in the whole arena, like that doesn't happen in the NBA, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't even probably know when the coach comes in. But it's, I think things all change with time. So maybe, who knows, maybe one day it would be a players' league. I mean, I think that's the best way for it to be anyways. I mean, the fans come to watch the game, they come to watch the players, you interview the players, you wear the jerseys of the players, so I mean, it makes sense.
You always make it clear that you hate fiction. So, fact or fiction, EuroLeague is better and more competitive than the NBA?
I hate those questions. I don't think it helps EuroLeague the way people think it does. I think that people, and you guys cover it, and you're more than intelligent enough to understand that they're two completely different games. They're not the same game at all. And when they're compared like that, I feel like it just takes away from EuroLeague standing on its own and saying, this is what we do, and this is our product, and we're proud of it, and this is what we have. And I tell guys all the time, with 1 or 2 rule changes in EuroLeague, the game would look the same. If we got rid of 3 seconds, and if we made the three-point line longer, it would be the exact same game. Those two rules allow the game to be like how it is. You know, if the court was bigger and the 3 seconds was away, the game would open up, the court would open up, it would be a much faster pace, and you would see a game that resembles the NBA. So with these two rules, I think it's better for EuroLeague to say, this is the product that we have. And although some of the best players in the world, not everyone in the NBA is better than everyone in EuroLeague, but we can agree that the best players in the world play in the NBA, but in EuroLeague, we still have an extremely, extremely talented group of guys. It's extremely, extremely competitive. And not only are the players proud of it, the coaches, but most importantly, the fans who come to these games and anything short of dying for their club cheering are extremely proud of the product that EuroLeague is.
I'm also asking because after your summer with the select team in the Olympic Team USA practices, you said that you rediscovered the joy of basketball that doesn't exist in Europe.
For sure. That was the happiest I've ever been in my life. It is. It was, I've never been so happy. I've never stayed awake at night so long, and I've never woken up so quickly, so that way I can enjoy those days. This is the happiest time of my life. And yes, during that time, it was being in Europe so long, again, you've watched a million games. So you see the coaches, when something happens, when the team scores, the coach is yelling, why did they score? When you mess up on offense, the coach is turning around yelling, why did you turn the ball over? The coach is yelling at the bench. So that way, when you go in, you don't make the same mistake. So it's always this constant, I was just saying like this, like you're always like this tenseness. The whole game is like this. And there's no time for joy. There's no time for smiling. You know what I'm saying? Because everything is so just intense, and everything is so like, if you mess up, it seems as if you cost the team the game. And during those 40 minutes of a EuroLeague game, like there's no moments to smile. There's no moments to celebrate when someone hits a shot. When you see Steph hit a shot and then you see the whole bench is celebrating, like you see you smiling, you know what I'm talking about, because you enjoy watching that. But in Europe, that culture is not there. And I'm not saying that's good or bad. It's just an objective reality that it's different. And that joy that I found was like, I can smile and play basketball. Wow, this is nice. This is nice.